my mission report, I visited Purisima Mission. It's located about right here. It's about a 3-hour drive from where we live in Orange.
Purisima Mission was the 11th mission of the 21 Spanish missions and is one of the only 3 that are state historic parks, which means money from the government is used to take care of the mission.
One of the ways the money is spent is on Mission Life Days, where the mission comes alive just like in 1800.
There are 6 Mission Life Days every year at Purisima, when 4th graders from all over come to see what life at the mission was like. About 1,000 4th graders come to Purisima on each of the Mission Life Days.
And 20,000 4th graders visit the mission each year. Because it's not boring, and there's lots of fun things to do. Come on, I'll show you. Yoo-hoo! This way.
Here. Okay. So rocking doesn't do the trick. See, it's not happening. So you have to push it down and then forward. Yeah, there you go. Now you got the hang of it. Okay.
So how long would they do this for?
The grinding?
I guess.
As long as it takes to get it as fine as this. See, this is
that must take a while.
It does.
Dry it out first, huh?
After you grind the corn, you squish it into a ball. Then flatten it out to make tortillas. Then they cook the tortillas and serve them to the visitors at the mission. Mmm. And speaking of yum, have you ever tasted a churro? Well, I bet you haven't tasted this kind of churro. Let's see how they use churro to make blankets.
That's what they did. They're combing the sheep's wool, so it's all straight, and then they can spin it. See what a mess it starts out with?
Yeah, that's
like
the way
that?
it starts.
This is washed. That's for you. When you do your project for the missions, that is churro, C-H-U-R-R-O, churro wool. Churro is the breed of the sheep. And you know how you remember? You think Taco Bell.
After they comb the wool, they take it off the cardon brush and spin it into yarn.
All these fibers, you take a little fluffy end and just put it next to a little fluffy end, and you just, that's why it's called spinning, because you spin it. This is called a drop spindle. See that? Look at that. That's the exciting
magic.
part. It is, isn't it?
Then they weave the yarn into blankets and clothing using the loom. It took a long
The
time.
volunteers make little blankets to sell at the mission store. We bought this one for $3.50. We also got a bar of soap. I got to help make it.
They only used 2 things to make soap. The first was fat from a cow
That
or
looks
pig.
like the
They
grease when
cooked
you
it in
cook
a
bacon
pot.
or ground beef, right? And that's exactly what it is. Okay? And so that's our #1 ingredient. That's what soap is made out of.
The second ingredient for soap was lye. They made lye by pouring water over ashes from burned wood.
You need about a cup of lye to a pound of fat. That's your, basic recipe. And you have to stir for a long, long time.
What are you making, Trev?
Soap.
Mmm.
No, it is not
Yummy.
tasty.
So that's how they make soap. Amazing, huh? Whoever thought of pouring water over ashes and mixing it with pig fat was crazy.
Okay, now you have to push forward on the pedal down there. There's a pedal down there with your foot. Yeah. Keep it flat.
Why don't you see what's next door and see what the next thing is? And we'll keep moving.
It turns out it wasn't as easy as I thought.
Yes.
It was upstairs.
Yes. Easy, isn't it? And right next to the Padre's kitchen, they got a little
Thank you.
Yeah, a little planning over there.
I'm gonna keep this in so my class. This is what I was trying to
tool
make.
making wasn't that easy, but I do know something that will be easy, except if you were a burro.
Now, if you look at the side, you will see grooves in the bottom stone and then grooves in the top stone. If you look over here, you will see how these grooves go all the way into the center of the stone. And as the burro pulls this around, the wheat drops into these little grooves and it pulls it into between the grinding stones. Now, it grows in as something very big and it comes out like flour. And it comes out through in between these two stones and falls into this. This burro works 6 to 8 hours a day. And this burro does nothing more than go around and around in a circle. So they keep this burro blindfolded because this burro gets dizzy going in circles. So when he goes in a circle and he's blindfolded, he does not realize that he's going in a circle, and consequently, he does not get dizzy. Let's go slow. This burro has to walk. This Indian up here is not going to let that burro run. He has to walk. And so you have to walk at
Oh, there you are.
pace.
So that's how the two-matched woman made wheat. Well, I should say the burros made the wheat, and the men hunted.
And this is how they made their arrowheads. They would take another hard rock, feel. Now, if that's your job, you have to that's how they made their arrowheads. Big bull, we brought them in. But you can't shoot them. You can't stab them. You can't choke them. You can't poison them. You can't drown them. You can't push them off a cliff. You can't burn them. And I don't want any holes in them. I want them dead now. Do it.
Bow and arrow?
No holes.
I don't know.
It's a tough question. It really is hard. The way they did it is they would take a rock. The bull's there to stand on a rock and go, and they drive down. But this is how they lived. This is true. Then they would take all the guts and give the guts to the pig, all except the stomach. Now the stomach comes down and it's got a tube where you go, your waist goes out. They would tie the tube up. What did they use that container for? Water. Yeah, they carry water. Then they would stretch it back, but sometimes they had to get all the fur off. But that's what they did.
Then he showed us what they did with the animal's hide. They would stretch it, then
it became like this. Feel that. The Spanish word, the Spanish word for this is called cuero. Skin. You have a dog? You feed them rawhide chews?
Sometimes.
That's how they got them.
The animal's skin had lots of uses.
Feel that stuff here.
Like a chip.
Yeah. This is a goat skin. Now rub your hand on that. Now you rubbed your hand on, that's mesentery. So you rubbed your hand on goat guts.
Mom, your turn.
Okay, now this is a soldier shield. Yeah. Now that's what they make this. It's like a swimming pool over here. They would put all hides, stack them. Then the kids would have to go and they would gather acorns, because that's got tannic acid in it, acid that helps make things smaller. Then they would take this. What is that?
Bark?
Yeah, bark from an oak tree. They would put thousands of pieces of bark in there and acorns. Now the tannic acid, it starts making it softer. Remember, it started like this. But it ended up like this. Now, that makes it soft. They need one other thing. Ammonia. Where did they get the ammonia from?
Plant.
Chicken poop. Oh. Because chicken poop has a high degree of ammonia. Don't ask me how they learn this stuff. I can see the kids carrying that chicken poop over there and the kids pushing all this stuff. I can imagine if Oh, and you did what? And you throw, I could see him having a poop fight. Well, they probably would.
And what did they use?
Once the leather was made, they used it for lots of things, like chaps for the cowboys to wear.
Work.
And of course, saddles.
The object of this game is you're going to build a picture, but your picture has to look exactly like mine. I'm going to build it, I'm going to cover it up, and then you're going to build yours when I'm done. Why was this so popular with the Chumash? Because they didn't have any written language, so they had to learn how to remember.
Didn't have TV either, huh?
No, oh gosh, no TV, no iPods, no Game Boys.
Bring something. This is aloe vera.
You gotta watch this because it's gotta be in order. Okay, 1, 2,
Commercial version.
3.
Mixed with hickory oil.
Yeah.
Very good for burn. You should always have some of this. Grandma's always.
Good for you.
Another game used a stick with a piece of bone.
Than it looks. Trust me.
Like this. This is our.
What's this?
That he had what they call a clapper stick, and they would. And this is how they would.
And they made music.
Hey, you guys sound good.
We have a jam session here.
Yeah, you do.
A bull roar was a signaling device, about like 2 feet long, and maybe the Chumash Indians would have had it maybe about 6 inches longer, or a whistle a bit wider.
Whoa.
You ever see Crocodile Dundee?
So if they found an animal,
They would kill it. They were hunters.
and they would use this to signal?
And if they needed help.
Okay.
Also, they used it during religious ceremonies, anything to make noise, yeah. The Chumash were very secretive about what went on during the religious ceremonies, so they would use that to cover up the sound of any chanting, all right?
Interesting.
We learned how they made bread and that they used corn husks as thermometer to see if it was done.
If it's too hot still, it will just burn.
We watched a blacksmith hammer out nails from hot iron. We learned how the soldiers were paid for fighting.
The object for the soldiers was stay 10 years, serve honorably, get your land grant.
I learned how their guns and spears were a lot heavier than they look, and even the shields were heavy.
The soldier even gave me a lead bullet to bring back to class, just like the real ammo they used.
The church was only as wide as the tallest trees. See the beam across the ceiling, which is only as high as the tallest tree.
Going to La Purisima for my mission report was great. Like doing your I got to try out lots of things that the Chumash used when they lived there.